By the all-American pastime. You know, you think baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, right? Well, instead of doing an apple pie, I thought we'd do something a little bit different and do an apple cheesecake. And you know me, it's got to be easy or it's not going to happen. So this is a no-bake apple cheesecake that you can throw together in minutes. Really quick and easy. It starts with a graham cracker crust. So we want about 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. So we just took one big sleeve of graham crackers. And you can throw it in the food processor, but Ann didn't want to wash the food processor, so true. So we basically just put the graham crackers whole into a Ziploc bag and use a meat mallet or a rolling pin and just crush them up. I really think that if you take the time to make your own homemade graham cracker crust rather than buying the pre-made kind, it makes all the difference in the world. And it's, you know, 3 ingredients to this crust recipe. It's just really delicious. Now you can buy the crumbs already crushed, but whenever it's summer and we are in the s'more making business at our home, we make a whole bunch of s'mores at the cottage. There's all those graham crackers that just get a little bit broken. There are downs on the ends. Put those in a Ziploc bag. Before you know it, they'll start to accumulate and you've got the makings for a graham cracker crust right there. So, all right. About 1.5 cups of crushed grahams, and this is a no bake. We don't need to worry about baking this. Now, I've got 1/3 of a cup of butter that I just want to melt, and then 3 tablespoons of sugar. All right, so I'm just going to mix that little bit of sugar in with the grahams. I'm all about easy, lemon squeezy, easy peasy dessert recipes. So if you have any, please share, especially for the summer. Love dessert, but don't want to be heating up the kitchen. And we love getting your recipes, we really do. All right, let's check and see if our butter is all melted. Looking good. So 1.5 cups of crushed grahams, 3 tablespoons of butter, and 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1/3 of a cup of butter melted. I just want to mix that all until it's crumbly and get it into our pie plate. All right, now like I say, it takes seconds to make your own graham cracker crust and it just tastes so much better. It is. That's because Ann said it looks a lot moister. It is. That packaged crust that's already done, it's kind of dry and processed, and that's because we've got the butter in here. And you can kind of go up the sides a little bit. What I like to do is then, we're not going to bake it, but we want it to kind of hold its shape a little bit. So I like to just throw it into the fridge for maybe 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and that way it's going to kind of set up a little bit. And that butter will, you know, go back to being firm. All right, now, for the cheesecake itself, we basically are doing 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. That we've let sit out at room temperature. 1/2 cup of sugar. And we're just going to mix that together until the cream cheese and the sugar gets fully combined. Now this is the key to this. We don't want a bunch of lumps in this cheesecake. Nobody likes the lumpy cheesecake. So this is going to take a minute or so. All right, looks nice and smooth, and what helps is if that cream cheese is at room temperature, it really makes that go a lot quicker. Now we need 1.5 cups of thawed whipped topping. That we're just going to fold in here. I usually just kind of eyeball it, and that's going to make it light and fluffy and wonderful. This is a little bit of a make-ahead. You want to give this at least a couple of hours before serving. So if you're having people over for a cookout, you know, throw this together in the morning. It really needs to set up in the fridge. We're not baking it, but this all needs to come together in the fridge. All right, it's perfect. We got the cream cheese and the sugar combined with the whipped topping. Oh, you got a beater to lick. Yay. There you go, Ann. If you like cheesecake, you're gonna like that. Okay, now for our last ingredient, it's an apple cheesecake. So we just picked up some apple pie filling, just canned apple pie filling, and we're just gonna kind of bring it to life a little bit and add about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Just to pump up the apple flavor in here, the cinnamon. You could certainly make your own apple pie filling too if you wanted. Cooked apples, thicken it up with cornstarch. Okay, now, our pie crust has gotten a little bit firm. We're going to start putting this thing together. Down goes our filling. I know, yum is right. And easy. I mean, whip this up in about 10 minutes. And carefully just kind of spread this around without disturbing the crust. Bob loves apple pie and he loves cheesecake, so this is a winner. All right, now we've got our apples that we just want to spoon right over the top. And this was just one large can of apple pie filling. And there you go. Apple cheesecake, no bake, the easy way. This gets into the refrigerator for at least a couple hours just to set up. And then you can dive in. Recipes on our website. We'll be right back.